Let's take a look at HBAR Hedera Hashgraph. I'm taking my real kind of proper first look at it from a technical perspective. If you are a HBAR Hedera Hashgraph holder, a fanboy, a long-term holder, good on you, because you've done really well in the last. Particularly if you bought, have you been in it for the tech since back here? Well, you've maybe just recouped your costs. Did you buy anywhere down here? You're doing very well. It's gone up about 800% in the last few weeks and about the last month or so. That peak, yeah, around about 750, 800%. What I'm going to be doing today is taking a first look. I've known about HBAR, I've heard of it, the hash graph, all that kind of stuff. I've heard about it. I've never done a deep dive. What today you are not getting is a deep dive. I'm mostly going to purely look at it from a technical analysis perspective. I'm not going to go in a deep dive. So for all you wonderful Hedera HBAR holders, bear in mind all that. I'm going to do a brief overview. And if there's anything that you'd love to add that you think my viewers should know more about HBAR, why you think it could go even higher than the take profit targets that I'll be putting in, tell me why. And just be polite about it. Like, hey, I like the analysis, but did you think about X, Y, and Z, or this other thing that's coming and all that? I'm just going to do the basic overview and then take a look mainly at the price. What am I going to use? Yes, I am going to use Grok because it's a good summarizer. Again, for all those people in HBAR, if this doesn't look right to you, just let me know politely in the comments or in the replies. But what is Hedera HBAR? And for my wonderful gold and silver stackers, you will have noticed over time, if you've been following someone like Mike Maloney has been championing HBAR, the hash graph, for years. I remember seeing a YouTube video from Mike Maloney, who was like the godfather of precious metals, pretty much. He's been talking about HBAR for years and years and years, particularly when it first came out. He's very bullish on it. But let's take a look. What is Hedera HBAR? The general Grok overview, okay? Hedera Hashgraph, HBAR, is a public distributed ledger technology, DLT, that aims to provide a more efficient alternative to traditional blockchain systems for achieving consensus in a decentralized network. Here are some of the key aspects of Hedera Hashgraph. Again, for the wonderful holders of this, add your own context in the comments, etc. Hashgraph consensus algorithm. Unlike traditional blockchains that use proof of work or proof of stake, Hedera uses a unique consensus mechanism called Hashgraph. The algorithm is based on Gossip Protocol and virtual voting, which aims to provide faster, more secure and fair transactions with low latency, high throughput, and no need for mining. There you go, no need for mining. The token HBAR. HBAR is the native cryptocurrency of the Hedera network. It's used for paying transaction fees, participating in the governance of the network through staking, and can be used in smart contracts or as a currency for micro payments. HBAR has a fixed supply. Okay, so it's a fixed supply, just like Bitcoin, etc., which is intended to make it deflationary over time, like Bitcoin, as more tokens are used for network fees. Okay, governance. Hedera is governed by the Hedera Governing Council. You don't need to know too much about the governance side of things. Again, you put your own context in for you wonderful HBAR people who might be watching. Use cases. Hedera supports various applications, including smart contracts, tokenization, issuing digital assets or tokens on the network, tokenization of real-world assets. I think it's in the RWA space. Correct me if I'm wrong, HBAR people. File storage, secure, immutable storage of documents or data. That's cool. Decentralized applications, dApps, building applications that run on the network, leveraging its speed and low cost. Enterprise solutions, offering blockchain solutions for businesses needing secure, auditable transaction records. Okay, very smart idea. Hedera claims to offer high transaction throughput, thousands of transactions per second, and low transaction fees, making it suitable for applications needing scalability and speed. And from network security, the consensus mechanism and the structure of the governing council are designed to prevent common blockchain vulnerabilities like 51% attacks. I also, just for the fanboys, I asked Grok, what would fanboys of HBAR also add to the summary? Grok said fanboys of HBAR might highlight the following points to bolster their enthusiasm. Superior technology. They would stress that Hedera's Hashgraph algorithm is fundamentally different and superior to traditional blockchain technologies, again offering higher transaction speeds, lower cost, etc. Enterprise adoption. This is a big one. They point out the involvement of major corporations like Google, IBM, and Boeing in the Hedera Governing Council, suggesting that this level of enterprise engagement validates, it absolutely does, Hedera's technology for real-world applications. There you go, WA, especially in sectors like supply chain management, finance, and IoT, which stands for Internet of Things. Stability, network stability and growth. Enthusiasts would likely mention the network stability. Yeah, tokenomics. They'd argue that HBAR's tokenomics, including a capped supply at 50 billion, creates an environment for potential gross value. Staking mechanism for network security and rewards. So you can stake for rewards. That's also part of it. Fanboys might also emphasize Hedera's approach to regulatory compliance. So that's a good thing. It sounds like they're trying to work with the government, just like we talked about reserve rights, reserve protocol. They're basically trying to cross all their T's, dot all their I's, and get as regulated as humanly possible. They want to be regulated to be legitimized. Same thing for Hedera, since which they believe positions HBAR favorably, there you go, in an increasingly regulated crypto landscape. What's coming? Trump and his team. Trump's gone full crypto now. He's popped in Paul Atkins, nominated Paul Atkins as the SEC chairman. And Paul Atkins is all about regulating crypto. JD Vance, the vice president, in crypto big way. A lot of the team are now, and they're all about, we want to bring this into the fold. We want to make it regulated so it gets out there to the wider world, so that the wider world goes, it's not just scam coins and stuff, okay? So they're really trying to do it the right way, and it seems like Hedera is doing that similar thing. Passion of the community. They have hackathons, okay? The Hello Future hackathon, which is on at the moment, I believe, often cited as evidence of a vibrant and growing community. I have seen HBAR fanboys, and they're very fanboyish, which is a good thing. That's not a bad thing, right? Narrative of being undervalued. There's often a sentiment among fanboys of HBAR that it's undervalued compared to its potential, okay? That's pretty much it. That's the general overview for HBAR. For my HBAR people watching, add some wonderful context, okay? But now we're going to take a look at the price. And I don't know why, and I didn't ask, and you can provide that context, HBAR people. Why has the price, did some kind of news come out where HBAR had some kind of crazy good news, a big company coming out supporting it or adopting it, for example, and then in the last 4 weeks, it's gone from basically 4 cents to 40 cents. So it's basically nearly 10 times in about 4 weeks. That is amazing. So now let's take a look at the pure technical analysis. I'm only going to be basing my take profit targets on that. I'm not basing my take profit targets on any kind of fundamental analysis, because it could shoot for the absolute moon, you know, get picked up by a whole bunch of corporations or whatever. Just looking at the technicals. So this is the Binance price. I'm going to use this one. This goes back to September of 2019. It's probably one of the best ones to use. It goes back a long way. So we've got when it was opened on the Binance price, it had a big dip. Okay, so 40 cents down to the low here of around about 1 cent. No, about 1 cent. Okay, I'm going to try this on Binance. I'm going to first do some Fibonacci, then I do some trend lines, do some horizontal lines of support and resistance. I also look at the relative strength index to indicate the general direction it might be going. Cool. And we'll talk about my take profit targets as well, as if I was getting into this myself, which I'm not, because I have too much crypto. I'm too exposed to too many. I don't want to spread myself too thin. So the high here and the low. What I'm first looking for to see if there are any levels of confluence in the Fibonacci from an obvious high and an obvious low, and preferably you want to take it, I do preferably want to take it from old highs and old lows. So I am going to take it from here, and Binance is the largest centralized exchange, okay? So many people, if they were using Fibonacci as well, they'd probably be looking at if they were doing technical analysis, they'd probably be using the Binance price. This high and this low, do we see any areas of confluence in future pricing? I do. Do you? Now, I might do a second Fibonacci to see if there's any better levels of confluence, but right now, what do we see? Okay, I think this is pretty much it, This is the one, okay? Why? Gee, from this old high and this old low, when we cracked back above and we found support at and it's support. It's rough support, and it's pretty good though. This is on the weekly time frame. What do we talk about spikes? Spikes mean shit. It's all about closes, right? Although I will show you a spike in just a second. It did hit a Fibonacci level, but for support, we had a spike here. Where did we find support roughly on a weekly time frame? It closed here, opened here. It's finding support on the closes around about the 0.236 level between this high and this low, and that's at around about 9 cents, 10 cents. So a little bit of support there. Where have we found a bit of resistance on the way up? Right there. Look at those couple of closes and this spike down here. That's around about your 0.382. There's nothing. This is the interesting thing about Fibonacci, right? There's nothing in this price action here that if you were here, right, and you didn't use Fibonacci, there's nothing to say. There's nothing that would indicate, oh, I'm going to find some resistance around about that 14, 15 cent level. Why? Because you wouldn't have this on, all right? So if you didn't have this on, I'm just showing you the power of Fibonacci. If this was around about here and say, oh, I think the price is going to go higher, where's the next resistance level? Oh, probably up around here at the previous thing. On the way, is there any resistance levels? Oh, I can't really see any, but you do the Fibonacci and you go, oh, there could be some resistance levels around these Fibonacci levels, and what do you know? We find resistance and support levels there. Funny how that works, isn't it? So resistance around about that 14, 15 cent mark, a spike to roughly, or a spike roughly to that 19 cent level. And of course, the previous all-time high, you're going to find some resistance there. Consolidating closes, spikes only, and no closes above that resistance level of around about 37 US cents. And then when we finally did break through the all-time high, where did we spike at? The 1.618 Fibonacci level from this high and this low. So I'm going to call this most definitely the Fibonacci level to go with. Other levels of confluence, you've got that support level here at the 0.5 mark, right? It finally broke it, and then it was a quick move all the way back down, and then back into the between the 2.36 and the 0 area right there. So ranging in here. Where did we find resistance at? The 0.236. Where did we find more resistance? 0.236. Third time was a charm, and we cracked back up. Where did we find rough resistance at? 0.382. Okay, a spike up to almost previous resistance, which happened to be that Fibonacci level. Cool. That is definitely in play. And just in the last last month or so, we have cracked back up. Cracked it, found resistance around about there, and found support at around about there at your 23 cent mark. So this is definitely this is definitely the one. Okay, just giving you that quick history. So it's looking very positive for HBAR. The thing I would caution you with, if I were to caution you, is just to tell you is HBAR, I don't know the answer, is HBAR potentially front-running everything else? Okay, on the weekly time frame, we've already gone into extremely overvalued, and we're in December. We're at the traditional kind of little midway point from the halving to a little bit of a lull, and then into the final push in the next probably few months. Okay, anywhere between March and the end of this year will be the crypto peak for this cycle. Okay. Is HBAR kind of front-running it a little bit? We've already been extremely overvalued, although you can spend a lot of time in here, okay? But look, a rising tide raises all ships, and I'm absolutely expecting a break of all-time high. Pretty much no doubt. If everything else is going up, HBAR is going to go up. So we'll take a look at those levels. On the monthly time frame, where are we? We've just gone into extremely overvalued. We just peeked our head into extremely overvalued on the monthly time frame. So that means now you can spend a lot of time. We've peaked in there. A lot of people think, oh, we've just gone into extremely overvalued. It's going to peak here really, really soon. No, it can go hog wild once because it's gone into extremely overvalued. That can actually be the signal to go, oh man, every man and his dog is getting in. Okay, I think that's true for general crypto. Okay, so this is probably likely to go much higher from here. Let's take a look at those levels. I'll give you my interim levels as if I was looking at this for the first time. If I were looking at this for the first time and we had have not been up here, I'll give you my getting interested and getting excited levels. and now these will become the levels you need to hold above. Okay, so for example, if we were somewhere down here, I would have called this here at 9 cents, call it 9.5 cents. 9.5 cents would have been the getting interested line. I'm now going to call it the line in sand. Okay, you really don't want to close below there. You start closing below there, good night, Irene. It's all over. That's the end of that. It's the end of the cycle for HBAR. We're not going back down to there, in my humble opinion. Probably not for a long time, if ever again. Okay, but just watch that. 9.5 cents. If for some reason we start ticking over, you start getting down to there, it starts closing below on a monthly time frame. That's not good for HBAR. We're not doing that. Okay, basically not. My getting excited line would have been, and it is. I am excited for HBAR, so it is technically. I'm excited for HBAR. I'm excited for HBAR holders. That is at 19 US cents. So I would say excited from here. Excited from here is 19 UN cents. It's great. It's broken this previous level. It's broken this major level of support here. Very clearly 19 US cents is a major resistance level that's finally broken through and so far held above, and that's great. And the final hurdle, now isn't this interesting? The final hurdle for new all-time highs coming very soon. As you always know, I pop it right here. Almost always, I pop it here at the 0.786. Where are we finding a little bit of resistance right now? At the 0.786. So that is, let's call it 29. I'm going to call it 30 cents just to be even, okay? 30 cents. Final hurdle, new all-time highs. Final hurdle for new all-time highs. Final hurdle for new all-time highs, okay? We are finding a little bit of resistance right there. We've had 40 cents, a break above, and then a matching of that previous high right there. Let's pop on the weekly time frame. Here's the good news. We had a quick spike down, and so far we're just closing. If you can close the week above this level of 20, I'm going to call it technically 29. I'd preferably like to see it at 30 cents, but I'll call it 29 US cents. I'll probably have to be more exact. Sorry, 29 US cents. If you close above 29 US cents this week, that's very positive, okay? That would say while we're above 29 US cents for HBAR, the new all-time high is going to be, a new all-time high will be broken. I'm 99.9% positive because, again, crypto in general is, I think, going to continue to go up as far as I'm aware. Then it will, okay? But just watch for 29 US cents. You really, just for that extra confirmation, you want to start closing weeks and months above it, okay? We did close last week above it, and that was a very positive sign, okay? So there's just a little dip, and probably onwards and upwards we go. So now let's talk about higher prices. And this is where the HBAR fanboys, the hodlers, might start to go, you're insane, bro. It's going to go way higher than that. Yes, you could be right. What I'm talking about is, for me, if I were getting into HBAR, where would I be looking to take some profits in order to make some damn money, okay? To provide for my family, to get rich, all that kind of stuff, okay? And I like to be a little bit conservative, all right? So I'll start with my take profit ones, okay? Well, I really can't now because we're back here. So I can't really cast in hindsight, can I? But I will say, out of interest, if I had have gotten in here gotten in above the getting interested line, or now the line in the sand at around about, let's say I got in around about 10 cents, I would have started taking some profits somewhere between 20 cents and the final hurdle. Okay, somewhere between 20 cents and 30 cents, I personally would have started taking a little bit of profit off the table. Why? Because you want to recoup your initial investment. You don't want to hold your bags forever. You're not married to your bags. You need to take some money out, take your initial investment out, and then free ride the rest. And then it's all gravy, right? It's all free money. But let's say I didn't do that. What are the next major profit-taking areas? For me, I mean, look, I've got to talk about percentages. If I can see, and I can see a lot of cryptos going up at least another, altcoins in particular, at least another 400-500%, okay? Some will 10 bag it. Some might even 100 bag it from here in a massive crypto bull run over the next few months, okay? But let's talk conservative. Number one, we're at 30 cents right now, roughly. Okay, a dollar HBAR is dead easy. So it's at least going to be there. Now, gee, what do you know? That's at the 2.618 Fibonacci right there. Is at around about 95 US cents. Okay, that's dead easy. A dollar HBAR is no problem. I'm actually going to ignore that. I'm going to say it's a take profit though. Okay, yeah, I won't ignore it. I'm going to put it in as a TP1. Okay, TP1. Whatever percentage that is for you, okay? And I'm going to call it, I'll call it 95 cents, and I won't call it a dollar because a lot of people, because the dollar is the magical psychological value for all fucking crypto that's below a dollar. It's always this to a dollar, this to a dollar, this to a dollar. You may see that as some kind of psychological value, and some people will probably front run it, and they'll front run it at around about your 95, 96, 97, 98 cent mark, okay? So that's why your TP1 is at 95 cents. What percentage? I don't know, you do you. But if you've been down in here, if you've been buying Hashgraph HBAR down here, if your average cost is somewhere, if your average cost is anywhere below 10 cents or below, and you're not selling a little bit at a 10 times move, I'm sorry, you don't know how to do trading or investing, okay? You're a fool, sorry, you're a fool if you're not taking some kind of profits at a 10 bagger, okay? What we say here is you should be taking, preferably, you should be taking out your initial investment, selling half at double, all right? If your average cost is 10 cents and you're still riding it all at 30 cents, maybe even consider taking a bit off the table now, just in case. But look, if you're really bullish on HBAR, at least I would suggest taking some profits, maybe a little bit. Take out your initial investment. If you put $5,000 here as your average, if your average cost is 10 cents and you put $5,000 in, take $5,000 out at the take profit one at around about $1. Do that for me, will you? That'd be good. But this is going higher than $1. If the crypto bull run is going to go as high as people think it reasonably can, I'm going to put on a vertical line. I'm going to talk about price in time as well on the monthly time frame. I'm going to put the vertical line here at, where are we? April of 2025. Why? Many people, myself included, think that you could start to have a bit of a peak in not all crypto, but the end of this next quarter, the end of Q1, so the end of March. Okay, so I'm going to put that time frame there. What's a reasonable price within 3 months in a bull market? Okay, let's give you an example. This is the 2021 bull market. Okay, so what did this do? This went from 3 cents to 30, 40 cents. Let's call that a 1,200% move. Okay, cool. That's in a 3-month period at the peak. If you want, we could do that and take it from there. Well, that takes it, gee, where does it take it to? That takes it to the all-time high. No, let's take it from another 3 months from here, roughly. You could easily get to, very easily, in a crypto bull run, you could very easily get to here in HBAR. You're talking $4. That would be a decent move. So I'm going to put, just to be safe, I'm going to put a profit-taking area, a major profit-taking area, somewhere between, I'm going to say somewhere between $2.40 to $4. Okay, you might want to be taking some more profits along the way, but that's going to be my major profit-taking area. Does that mean you sell out completely? No, but you take probably a bulk of your profits at around about there. Okay. There's your major profit-taking area. So let me see. Do I want to put in a larger range? Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Let me have a think. Yeah, I'm going to break my rule, and I'm going to say it's a decent area, isn't it? It's $1. No, okay, that's like a 100% move. So no, I'll put it there at $2.50 to $4. Cool. Right there. Let me pop it in. $2.50 to $4. $4 major profit taking. Do HBAR fans think it could go higher than this? Absolutely. Of course they do. And Should you be selling out of your bag completely? Absolutely not. Never sell out of your bag 100%. If it gets up into this range, I would consider, I'm just going to put it in just so you can see it. I'm going to put a take profit 2 here at about $1.50. Okay, just so it's written in there so nobody can have a go at me later on. Take profit 2. Consider taking some extra profits at around about your $1.50 mark. Okay, $1.50, a small percentage, whatever that is for you, do that. Major profit taking area at $2 to $4. Could it shoot to $10, $20, $100 HBAR? Of course it could. Okay, we don't know where it's going to go exactly, but you want to be prudent. You want to be smart about it. You are doing it for your family. You're doing it for your future family. Okay, you're trying to set up your future. And you want to take profits off the table. Major profit area, $2.50 to $4 US dollars for HBAR. And keep a bag in case it goes higher than that. But around about here, this time frame, this could go out a little further to, anywhere from October to December roughly. That's your major profit taking area, $2.50 to $4. That is HBAR. Again, for HBAR fanboys, and it's not a derogatory term. It's a good term. Love the fanboys. I'm a fanboy for reserve. I'm a fanboy for everything I'm in. For the fanboys, if you think this is a crazy analysis and you think it can go much higher, post a comment below now and tell me the reasons why. Okay, don't just tell me you're crazy. It's going to shoot to $10. Great. Tell me the reasons why and tell everyone to inform us. Okay, be helpful. Okay, that is HBAR. Let's do some comments and we'll get out of here.